Good morning, good morning. I'm your host Abhinav Jindal, and welcome to the third episode of It's Wednesday, That's Why. It's an exciting day today. It is raining here in Toronto, and be careful because the water is 87% wet. So be cautious. Today, we have a very special entrepreneur on us with a call. He is a mentor to me, a dear, dear friend. He's a distributor of one of the high-end water alkalizers, a real estate investor. He's a master networker. And when I say a master networker, like this guy can connect with people in under 20 seconds. He's a very helpful, kind, and generous person who's always looking to help other people. So please welcome to It's Wednesday, That's Why, Dan Carvalho. How are you, Dan?
Buddy, I'm fantastic. Thank you for having me on. I'm very excited to be on here with
Excited to
you.
have you here, man.
Yeah, man, and congratulations, by the way, on this new venture. And I think this is a fantastic place for you. This is matches perfectly with what I know of Abhinav Jindal, and I think this is gonna shine a light a little bit on who you are. So thank you for having me on. I'm honored. I'm really honored to be here.
Thank you so much. You're too kind. So Dan, the first question I always ask is, what do you do? Like we already talked about a little bit, and I had
Yeah,
that introduction,
yeah.
but in your own words, what do you do?
Well, I mean, that's a pretty loaded question because I actually don't love that questioning per se. Because what do I do? Well, I mean, I pretend I know how to surf, right? I like to I like to golf, right? I mean, there's a lot of stuff, and we've associated that question, "What do you do?" with what job we have or what business we run. But you know what? Sometimes we need to disconnect. So, what do I do for a business? A couple of things. Well, like you mentioned, I'm a real estate investor. I wholly believe in in having passive income because that's a hedge against potentially catastrophes in the future. So passive income, something happens to me, my family's taken care of. So that's one thing. And the other thing, like you said, I sell medical grade water ionizers, Japanese technology that impacts people's health dramatically. And it just gives me joy to be in a business that I can, earn a great living at the same time helping people. So yeah, that's it in a sort of a nutshell what I do. So
Okay, that's and so true about the question. Maybe I should be more specific in terms of, hey,
yeah,
what do you do for business, or what do you do for a living, or
no,
what do you
it's
do for
it's just
fun?
my
But
it's just my
it's a great
view.
answer.
Yeah.
And then why do you do what you do in business?
So why? I mean, why do I invest in real estate, or why do I sell medical grade water ionizers, or why am I an entrepreneur?
Well,
Like,
let's begin with why you are an entrepreneur.
so I'm an entrepreneur because I love the flexibility and freedom. I'm not a great person at taking orders. So, it doesn't bode well, in the quote unquote job world. So I'm an entrepreneur because I love just being able to sit down for a podcast with a friend on a Wednesday morning, right? And instead of, having to ask somebody for permission. I just asked the man in the mirror and I say, "Hey, you want to do a podcast?" He said yes. So here we are. That's why I'm an entrepreneur.
And let's dive deeper into this. Why
Mhm.
did you become an entrepreneur with a water alkalization distribution business?
Okay. So that's a very interesting question because it was never my plan. At the time when I found out about this technology, I was actually I had my sales consulting company, which I still do, by the way. I still have that as well. And, I was heavily into real estate investing and I was really busy. So I was not interested at all in adding another potential business or whatever you want to call it. So I found out about this technology. I mean, I can take up the whole podcast in just sharing how I
I know
found out
you
about
can.
this technology. So I promise I won't do that today. But yeah, I bought this machine that started impacting my family's health. And when it actually impacted my family's health, I did about 6 months of research into the technology after I already owned it. And after that research period, which by the way, I still continue to learn to this day, almost 6 years later, I decided that I was going to do this as a business for the rest of my life because I've seen way too many people get impacted by the water that comes out of this machine. So that's how I decided to do this as a business. And even if it didn't pay me, I would have to tell people about this technology, which makes it a complete blessing because now it's no longer work. It's something that I would do no matter what. So there you go. I
That's
hope
such an
that answers your
interesting
question.
answer, and
Yeah.
I loved your answer. You know, as humans, and especially as entrepreneurs, people think we are doing a business for a certain thing, and the first answer that comes to mind is, "Hey, I'm doing this business because it's good money in there or something." But it's
Mhm.
been my third podcast, but I've been asking this question to entrepreneurs long before because I'm a curious person, and I always like to know what is the drive, what is the fuel that drives this mind up here and makes us do things that we do. And in my understanding and studying the human psychology and why people do certain things, I have
Mhm.
found out it comes off to at the end, I can have the whole journey and take over the entire podcast with this talk, but at the end, it niches down to emotions and certain feelings because we do things to feel in a certain way. Let's say you said you are an entrepreneur because you want to feel that freedom. You are in the water business because it helps people. It helped your family. It helps people, and you love helping people. And I want to know and get deeper with the question as to why you want that freedom, why you like to help people. What does that bring to you? Um, Not in terms of tangible assets and stuff,
Mhm.
but how does that make you feel? And what really drives Dan to wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to work harder today, I'm going to work faster today, and I'm going to impact two more people's lives?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a great question because it's not there's not a like it's not a direct answer once again.
It
And
can't be.
maybe I'm just a complicated individual, right? But there's multiple like of course the helping people aspect of it is huge for me. But, we also get paid very well. So like it's not a charity as well. But again, why there's so many things. One, I want to inspire people. I want people to be able to believe in their dream. As a child, we all have dreams, right? We all, like nobody's gonna say, oh, to a 4-year-old, yeah, we're gonna fly to the moon. And no parent is gonna say, yeah, stop aiming so high, right?
Hmm.
But once we, graduate high school and then go into university and then I want to do this, I want to live all over the world. No, be realistic. So I want to share with people the opportunity to be unrealistic. Screw, pardon my language, being realistic. If you have a goal, if you have a dream, then go for it. And I use myself as an example because I shut my dreams down. Okay. I had crazy dreams as a kid. Even as a young 20 something, like I had crazy dreams. But then, family, life, relationships. And that's why we got to be very careful who we surround ourselves with too, right? All started like chipping away, just a little chip, a little chip, a little chip, a little chip, until the point where I almost put it away. Like one of my dreams was just to be able to be home for my kids or be able to have that flexibility. I wanted to be the only dad on school trips, right? I wanted to be the guy available that I have the time to do that because most of us don't have the time to go out there and spend time with the people who really matter. And
Yes.
at the end of the day, nobody's going to say, I wish I spent more time at the office. When you're taking your last breaths and hopefully it's a very peaceful and you're surrounded by family, nobody's going to say, man, I wish I did one more proposal. I wish I got one more client,
Yes.
right? Right? Or I wish I bought one more property. No, we're going to say, you know what? I wish I spent more time. I wish I took more trips. I wish I built more quality time with the people that actually matter to me or to you. So I want to tell people, I want to help inspire people that that is possible, that that's real. You can dream as big as you want. Like, buddy, you're one of the biggest dreamers I've ever met, right? Like, okay, this guy I'm talking to the audience now because I'm usually, this guy is nuts. But guess what? That's amazing. Like, that's amazing to be crazy and to think huge. Because you know what? The price is the same. Whether you think small,
Yes.
like you can think Honda Civic or you can think Bugatti. It's the same process in your brain.
Yes.
So why think Honda Civic? Nothing wrong with Honda Civics. They're great cars. But come on, Bugatti's a cool car, man. Yeah.
100%.
Right. So and for me, like, I've learned as I've gotten a little older that the material stuff, I love it, but it's not the most important. It's
I,
it's
I,
that
I love it when you
impact.
say that. Can we just
Yeah.
focus? Sorry to interrupt, but can we just expand
Yeah.
upon, because as humanity, it's so important for us to be unrealistic, And as you said,
Hmm.
as a child, we have such big dreams, and as Abraham Hicks says, and I'll quote her, is
Hmm.
by the time we grow up, we are buried with logic.
Yeah.
And then we start thinking the logic of how I can get that, and how is this possible? And I think it's that
Hmm.
how that kills that dream. It's that how, it's that objectivity in our mind that makes us think smaller and smaller and smaller. And that's one of the reasons I started this podcast, is to inspire people and spread the importance of why. Because one thing I learned is how does not matter. Why is everything. If we know our why, if we know why we want it, the how will come in. And like me for
That's
3 years,
right.
so you probably know, I just say things out in the universe and they literally happen to me. Like
Hmm.
I don't even worry about the how, because I'm just like, okay, I want this, and I next day I have this.
Yeah.
And it's so important to be unrealistic. It's so, and the material things in the end, like, they will come, but it's not important. What's important is how we are with ourselves, how we feel under our skin, because we often relate the important things in our life to having materialistic. So we say, when I get
Hmm.
materialistic, I'll feel better, I'll feel happy, but that's not the case.
No. No, you're right. You're right, and that's a huge point right there, because it's you need to be happy with yourself,
Yes.
right? And even that's for everything. Like, you even in relationships. Now I'm going to switch gears a little bit here because that thought just popped into my mind, and I hope you're okay for me to freelance a little bit.
For sure.
But even in relationships, you can't go into a relationship because this person is going to make you happy.
Yeah.
That's a recipe for disaster. You got to be a happy individual,
Yes.
and then you can make the relationship work. So happiness and is, I mean, that's really the basis of life. And having that joy within, and having that, sleep, putting your head down on the pillow and just being at peace,
Yeah.
right?
That
And
is so true.
right, and so that's why we do what we do. And to many people,
100%.
everybody has their own things that make them happy. So who am I to judge you on what you want, or what you think, or what you feel makes you happy? How can I? I could never, right? So like, chasing that dream makes me happy, right? So yeah, we're going full circle here, but
And,
yeah,
and,
at
and I
the end of
love
the
when you
day,
say chasing the dreams, because when I did an extensive course this year, and I was
yeah.
understanding, okay, what are my values, and I really went into the marina trench of death in understanding who am I and why I do things. And one of the things I do, everything, is thrill. I love thrill, man. And
Hmm.
as you said, chasing a dream, that's a thrill for me. Like, you
Yeah.
say I'm nuts and I'm crazy and I'm a big dreamer, because it
Yeah.
all brings thrill to me. I live to inspire people. I live to love people. I live to have fun, and have thrill. And that's the basis of my fuel. That's the driving factor. What motivates me up every day and says, okay, I'm gonna do what nobody else has done, or I'm gonna try
Mhm.
something new which everyone is afraid of, or I'm gonna go lie in the snow for 2 minutes, and
Whatever.
stuff like that. So,
Uh,
that's amazing. And
yeah.
it's so I want to pick something you said, and you said happiness, and you related
Mhm.
that with high, and it's so interesting because if you ask any person, it's a whole exercise. Like if you ask a person 7 times why they do anything, after 7 or 8 times you ask why, the answer is always happiness.
Hmm. Interesting. I didn't know
And
that.
yeah, yeah. If you want to do like, let's pick up something like, you got a, I know you got a very cool car in your garage there, Dan.
Mhm.
Why did you buy that car? By the way, this guy's got a Integra. Which year is that?
It's a 98. It's cool to some, not cool to others. For me, it was one of my
I'm
dreams.
a car fanatic, and
Yeah.
I've sat in that car, so I
Yeah.
know the way it drives. And it's an Integra Type R 98, I believe.
98, 98. Yeah. It's
That car talks to
like,
you, man.
yeah, it was one of my dreams because I had one of these cars in my crazy days in my youth. So I didn't have a Type R. I had the base model. So it was one of my dreams just to get one of these
So
cars.
why did you buy that car?
Well, first thing, well, I'm gonna say because it makes me happy. No, it doesn't, but it does. Again, it brought back some memories of my youth, first and foremost. And I'm not, guys, I'm not going through a midlife crisis here. It was just, um, plus it's a rare item, so I like rare things. So you
And
don't see this car.
why do you like rare things? And why
I it,
do you want to, like, why do you like
I
this?
don't know because I guess I'm a guy. I don't know. It's bizarre. It's something I can't even fully answer that question. I just like, like when I drive that car, I know I am not coming across anybody else in the road driving the same vehicle as me, right?
And probably that makes you feel unique.
Yeah, it gives me that, it makes me feel unique, whatever. Like
Why feeling unique is, I'm sorry to dig here,
yeah,
but
no, 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 but no,
why
it's
feeling unique is important to you?
I never thought about it, but it's part of we are individuals, right? We all have, I want to carve my footprint or carve my piece of the world out, and I want to be known, for achieving something, I guess, right?
Okay.
So
And why
so
that?
I know I already knew what you're doing. Now I understand what you're
See, now
doing
you're
here.
trying to
Yeah,
avoid it. Now you're
yeah,
trying.
yeah. No, I'm trying to avoid it because I know you, and
Now
so
you're trying
at the
to.
end of the day, you don't even have to go 7 questions. It's for happiness, right? At the end of the day, it's for happiness. Every decision we make is for happiness. Does a car is a car going to make me happy? No, but does it give me a little bit of joy when I drive? Yeah, absolutely. You know, if I'm feeling a little down, I like to rev that engine to almost 9,000 RPM and just it's whatever. Is that going to be my only car? No, not until I have. There's two more on the list.
Oh, for sure.
So
I think
uh,
two is just the beginning for you.
two more musts, and then everything else will fall into place. But an F40, Ferrari F40, and a Porsche 911 GT2, the 993 model, fantastic cars and rare, rare, rare cars. So maybe that's why I love them, but who knows? Yeah,
Yeah, man, that's cool. Hey, so
yeah.
steering back to the regular set of questions here, what is one
Thank
growth
you.
tip? What is one growth tip you would like to share with the people watching this podcast today, about growing their business, or a growth tip about maybe their personal journey,
Yeah.
whatever you feel sharing today.
Well, about growing your business, I think it's important. Like for me, like we have to have balance, right? We have to have balance. But when it's growth time, it's okay to be out of balance.
Hmm.
It's okay to work like a mad person. Like I learned this early on in my career. Some guy gave me this analogy of a jet, right? A jet uses what, 70% of its fuel
Yeah.
on takeoff.
Okay.
And forgive me if there's people out there who know the actual number. This is just a guesstimate, okay? So if anybody wants,
Yes.
but they use a huge chunk of the fuel on takeoff. So all that energy flying just to get up on the air. So at the beginning, we need to do the same in our business. We need to go out of balance and throw all this energy and just, sacrifice time with the family. Like, why do I build my business? So I can spend more time with my family.
Yes.
But to get time with my family, I have to sacrifice time with my family.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
That makes sense.
Like,
Yes.
if you want money, you must invest money. If you want time, you must invest what? Time.
That's,
So do it in bursts. Do it in bursts. I found that 90-day bursts really work well for me. Like,
mm-hmm.
you do a 90-day burst of all out effort,
Yeah.
take a couple weeks, chill, reflect, and then do it again. Right. And if you do 3 or 4 of those bursts, you technically should set up your business to run now, not on autopilot, but now you can start re-adding balance into your life.
Yes. That makes sense.
So
That's
yeah,
a fantastic growth tip, or should I say fantabulous growth tip up here.
fantabulous. All right. Yeah,
That's fantastic, man. So thank you so much for being here, Dan. It was absolutely a pleasure talking to you as always.
yeah.
Thanks for your time and have a limitless day. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope you stay tuned. I hope this episode inspired you because that's what we're all about. We just want to share. If we and the speaker here can share one tip for you that you can apply in your life and grow from it or get something out for yourself from that tip, then I think that be the most happy moment for me personally because there's nothing more than that. Stay tuned for the next episode. If you want to be featured, please leave your name in the comment. We do have a lot of speakers lined up for the next few weeks, but we would be happy to bring on more speakers, have more interesting stories, and share another inspirational story on another Wednesday. I'll see you next week and have a limitless day.